From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 29th, 2021. A small improvised explosive device detonated today outside Israel's embassy in New Delhi, India. The blast caused some damage, blowing out the windows of 3 cars in the area, but no injuries. Police in India said the device was of very low intensity, suggesting it was set off to, quote, create a sensation, unquote. Israel's foreign ministry said they were being updated regularly by Indian authorities and had ordered all necessary security steps be taken. Reportedly, that includes, according to the Times of Israel, an increase in security measures of Israeli embassies around the world. The government of Pakistan today petitioned the country's Supreme Court to review its decision this week to release the main suspect and 3 others convicted in the 2002 kidnapping and murder of Jewish-American journalist Daniel Pearl. We had reported to you of the outrage and shock at the court's ruling this week, including from the Pearl family. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken released a statement yesterday calling that decision an affront to terrorism victims everywhere. He said the U.S. was prepared to prosecute the suspect in the United States. We are committed, Blinken said, to securing justice for Daniel Pearl's family and holding terrorists accountable. Blinken, by the way, also tweeted yesterday of the phone conversation we reported to you about that he had with Israel's Foreign Minister Gabi Ashkenazi. Blinken in the tweet said that the U.S.'s commitment to Israel's security was sacrosanct. Israel's Defense Minister Benny Gantz spoke over the phone last night with new U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, with whom he has been acquainted for several years. Gantz tweeted of the call, "We reaffirmed the strength of the U.S.-Israel defense relationship and discussed our many shared priorities, including maintaining Israel's QME, its qualitative military edge, and regional stability." Austin responded, reaffirming that the U.S. is committed to Israel's qualitative military edge and to enhancing, he wrote, our close bilateral cooperation. And Gantz today met with Commander of the United States Central Command, or CENTCOM, General Kenneth F. McKenzie, Jr. in Tel Aviv. The U.S. announced earlier this month that its military overview of Israel would be moved to CENTCOM, and Israel's defense ministry said that Gantz shared his appreciation of this with McKenzie. This shift, Gantz said, will afford Israel opportunity to deepen cooperation with new regional partners and broaden operative horizons. Israel had been under the area of responsibility of EUCOM, the U.S.'s military European command. CENTCOM operates in the Middle East, and the move is seen as a step to improve cooperation between Israel and other countries in the region in confronting the threat from Iran. McKenzie yesterday met with IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Aviv Kochavi for, the IDF tweeted, a strategic situational assessment against emerging regional threats after planting an olive tree together for the Jewish holiday of Tu B'Shvat. Well, Israel has its first female test pilot, referred to for security reasons as Major N, a 38-year-old mother of 2 who graduated from the U.S. Navy Test Pilot School in Maryland this past weekend, officially becoming the first female test pilot in the Israeli Air Force. She completed the year-long flight course as a helicopter pilot, flying 13 different types of aircraft. Major N will soon head back to Israel to serve in the Flight Testing Squadron at the Tel Nof Air Base. Rabbi Ed Staffman became the first rabbi elected to the state legislature in Montana this month. Representative Staffman is one of just a handful of rabbis ever elected to a state legislature in the country. He is a member of Tru'ah, the rabbinic human rights organization, who tweeted of Staffman, "We know he will be guided by compassion and the pursuit of justice and bring a moral voice to his new role." The rabbi wrote on his website of the new position, "I will always be guided by the teaching of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, January the 29th. Coming up at 6 o'clock, it's live Shabbat services from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, it's a concert with the late Jules Frankel. At 9:30, it's episode 4 of From Date to Mate. At 10 o'clock, we replay the news block with the ILTV's Week in Review and this news update. At 10:30, it's a replay of the Hampton Synagogue services and an encore presentation of the Central Synagogue services. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 29th, 2021. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well, and Shabbat Shalom.